1 Timothy chapter 5. Do not rebuke an older man harshly, but appeal to him as you would to a father. Treat younger men like brothers, older women like mothers, and younger women like sisters, with absolute purity. Show respect to widows who are really in need. But if a widow has children or grandchildren, first let them learn to do their religious duty to their own family, and thus repay some of the debt they owe their forebears. For this is what is acceptable in the sight of God. Now the widow who is really in need, the one who has been left all alone, has set her hope on God and continues in petitions and prayers night and day. But the one who is self-indulgent is already dead, even though she lives. And instruct them about this, so that they will not be open to blame. Moreover, anyone who does not provide for his own people, especially for his family, has disowned the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Let a widow be enrolled on the list of widows only if she is more than 60 years old, was faithful to her husband, and is known for her good deeds, as one who has reared her children well, showed hospitality, washed the feet of God's people, helped those in trouble, and engaged in all kinds of good work. But refuse to enroll younger widows, for when they begin to feel natural passions that alienate them from the Messiah, they want to get married. This brings them under condemnation for having set aside the trust they had at first. Besides that, they learn to be idle, going around from house to house, and not only idle, but gossips and busybodies, saying things they shouldn't. Therefore, I would rather the young widows get married, have children, and take charge of their homes, so as to give the opposition no occasion for slandering us, for already some have turned astray to follow the adversary. If any believing woman has relatives who are widows, she should provide relief for them. The congregation shouldn't be burdened, so that it may help the widows who are really in need. The leaders who lead well should be considered worthy of double honor, especially those working hard at communicating the word and at teaching. For the Tanakh says, "You are not to muzzle an ox when it is treading out the grain." In other words, the worker deserves his wages. Never listen to any accusation against a leader unless it is supported by 2 or 3 witnesses. Rebuke before the whole assembly those leaders who continue sinning as a warning to the others. Before God, the Messiah Yeshua, and the chosen angels, I solemnly charge you to observe these instructions, not prejudging and not doing anything out of favoritism. Do not be hasty in granting samika to anyone, and do not share in other people's sins. Keep yourself pure. Stop drinking water. Instead, use a little wine for the sake of your digestion and because of your frequent illnesses. The sins of some people are obvious and go ahead of them to judgment, but the sins of others follow afterwards. Likewise, good deeds are obvious, and even when they are not, they can't stay hidden. End of 1 Timothy chapter 5.